Hi guys, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we are going to look at the chemical reactions of alkanes. Now before we begin, note that alkanes generally undergoes substitution reaction. They generally undergoes what? Substitution reaction. Another reaction that they undergo again is what? Pyrolysis or cracking. Okay, pyrolysis or cracking. So how about if you are given an alkane and then you were asked to react it with chlorine, that is chlorination? What will be the product that will be formed? Can you think? What will be the product that will be formed? Now we are talking about halogenation reactions. We have chlorination, we have bromination, we have fluorination. But then the reactions with fluorination is very vigorous and explosive, and hence it's not usually feasible. So you may be given an exam in such a way that they react fluorine with alkane. That reaction is not feasible. Why? Because it is an explosive reaction. Are we getting it now? So most especially the reaction that alkanes usually carry out with halogens is with either chlorine or what? Bromine. It's either chlorine or bromine. Now bromine yields more yield or gives more yield as compared to what? Chlorine. Chlorine gives lesser yield. So if let's say chlorine is giving 50% of the yield, bromine will be giving like 98% of the yield. Are we getting it now? So chlorination reaction. Now alkanes react with chlorine in the presence of ultraviolet light or diffuse light, or at a temperature of 300 to 400 degrees, yielding a mixture of product. For example, methane reacts with chlorine to give methyl chloride and hydrogen chloride. So let's say this CH4, this methyl, reacts with chlorine in the presence of diffuse light or ultraviolet diffused, okay, diffuse light, then it will give what? CH3 Cl plus HCl. This is methyl chloride. This is methyl chloride, and this is hydrogen chloride. Now can you notice anything in this reaction? Can you notice anything in this reaction? Have you noticed that this CH4 here, the hydrogen from here was actually removed and then substituted with a chlorine? Have you noticed? Yes, the hydrogen here was removed and then substituted with a chlorine atom. Then the hydrogen that was removed added to one of these chlorine to give what? HCl. Are we hearing it now? So let's look at these steps that actually help to get or arrive at this point, because this reaction is a chain reaction. It doesn't just stop once, it's a continuous process, and it takes a number of steps in order to actually ascertain or to reach this point. Let's look at them, the steps in this reaction. We have three steps. We have the chain initiation of alkane, chain initiation step. Now the chain initiation is one of the reactants, which is chlorine, is splitted homolytically to give chlorine radicals. So you have Cl2 in the presence of UV light, splitted homolytically. Can we still remember what homolysis is? We said that homolysis is a type of reaction in which free radicals are formed, such a way that the two electrons that participated in the bonding usually takes home their electron. Now remember that for chlorine atom to be formed, one chlorine bonded with another chlorine, and this bond contains how many electrons? 2 electrons. So when this bond breaks, each of the chlorine atom takes home their what? Their electrons, which are called radicals. Are we getting it now? So homolysis leads to the formation of free radicals. So this is the first stage of this reaction, the chain initiation, homolytic cleavage. First reaction, this with the homolytic cleavage of the radical. Okay, this with the homolytic cleavage of the radical. Now the next one is the CH4. We are reacting this now, CH4 plus Cl. I may need to write the reaction here. CH4 plus what? Cl2 to give us CH3 Cl plus what? HCl. Now what will happen the next is this CH4 molecule will now react with chlorine radical, one of the chlorine radical. Now this CH4 will break. If CH4 breaks, gives you CH3, then you have what with hydrogen, like this is CH4 because there's a bond here that bonded one of these hydrogen. This bond can break, so you now form what CH radical and then what hydrogen radical. Now you agree with me that this hydrogen radical may react with the chlorine radical. Now when two radicals react together, what is formed? It will form a bond. So hydrogen bond will be formed, hydrogen chloride bond will be formed. Are we getting it now? So we are left with a radical here. So the product of this reaction will be what? CH3 radical plus what? Hydrogen chloride. Are we getting it now? CH3 radical plus the hydrogen chloride. This reaction may not necessarily stop here. This reaction will not stop here. Now these methyl free radicals, now the methyl free radical form will now attack the chlorine molecule. So you have CH3 radical now attacking the chlorine molecule. Now if we bring this out here, this you have CH3 radical, okay, plus chlorine molecule. The chlorine molecule is something like this because chlorine molecule is Cl2. Are we getting it now? Before Cl2 can be formed, there is what? A bond between Cl and Cl. Now when this bond is broken, it forms two electrons like this. What will happen is that this electron here will what? You see the way I represented it with half arrow. This electron here will combine with one of the electron from here, half arrows. And what will they form? They will form what? CH3 what? Cl, which is methyl chloride. So this will form CH3Cl plus, then what are we left with? When these two combine together, what are we left with? We are left with one chlorine radical. So it will form another radical. Now this is one of our products here, which is CH3Cl, and then the first product was formed in the first step of the chain initiation. Then the second product was formed in the second step of the word chain initiation. But then we also have radicals. Now these radicals are very unstable atoms or molecules, and because they are very unstable, what will happen? They will tend to what? To facilitate these reactions over and what? Over again. Now this reaction will proceed more and more until there will be no more carbon to substitute again, until you form Cl what? CCl4. So this reaction will form CH3Cl, to form CCl4, it will form CH2, Cl2, it will form CH and what? Cl3, following the same steps again until there will be no more hydrogen to what? To substitute. So the reaction can proceed until there will be no more hydrogen to substitute, and that is what? CCl4. But we are not going to look at that now. So now in your exams you'll be asked, which of the following step is a step in the reaction substitution of alkane? They may give you this, and you know the answer is what? Chain initiation step in the substitution of what? Alkane. Now they may give you any of this, you know that any of this is the what? Chain propagation step. Chain propagation, a radical react with a molecule to form another radical and another what? Molecule. Radical react with a molecule to form a molecule and another radical. Are you getting it now? That is chain propagation. Then chain termination, two radicals come together to form a molecule. Two radicals coming together to form a molecule is what? The chain termination. Terminates the step because these radicals are the one actually initiating the reaction. Like radicals initiate fights. Are we getting it? The radicals are the one initiating the reaction. So you have CH3 plus CH3, so to give us CH3 and what? CH3. So these steps like this is called the chain termination step. Why this step like this is the chain what? Propagation, and this is the chain initiation. So chain initiation leads to the formation of free radicals. The step that leads to the formation of the free radical known as the chain initiation. Why chain propagation is a radical reacting with a molecule to form another radical and a molecule. Then chain termination, two radicals coming together to form a molecule. So you can see that the chain initiation is the opposite of what? The chain termination, as it implies that the end is the opposite of the beginning. Chain initiation is the beginning, chain termination is the end. So that is that for this particular reaction. So in most cases, the halogenation of alkanes, the question that you be asked is mostly on chlorine, the chain initiation step, the chain propagation step, and the what? Chain termination. You may be asked to actually look at a reaction and decide or describe what or determine the reaction. Is it chain initiation, chain propagation, or chain termination? For instance, if you are given this, you know that is the chain what? Initiation. If you are given any of this, you know is the chain what? Propagation. And if you are given this, you know is the chain termination step in this substitution reaction, because we said alkane generally undergoes what? Substitution reaction. So in the substitution reactions of alkanes, okay, the next one is fluorination. Now we said fluorination reactions are not usually feasible because the bond will break and it's very, very what? Explosive. Are we getting it now? It's very, very explosive. Now this reaction here is not feasible, it's very explosive, and in most cases it is not what? Carried out. This is the fluorination step in substitution reaction under halogenation. Now the next one is the nitration of alkane. Now in this reaction, nitro group is substituted for alkanes. The nitro group is substituted for alkanes. Are we getting it now? The nitro group is substituted for alkanes. For instance, if you have, let's say, CH4 plus, the nitro group is usually gotten from HNO3. Now this H, you have HO and then NO3. You can break this down. This for NO2 rather. This will be NO2 because H then N, O plus O give us what? O3. When this reacts, hydrogen is being substituted. So this will give us CH3, then what? NO2. This will give us nitroalkane, or in this case, it's nitromethane. So this gives us nitromethane as the product of the reaction, plus H2O. So that is one of the reactions of alkane nitration. So for instance, if I give you CH3, CH3, this is ethane and is being nitrated, what will be the product? First of all, we say to this one will be then what? Plus NO2. What will happen if one hydrogen leaves here? What will be left here? Two hydrogens. So you form something like CH3, CH2, then the NO2 what? Attaches, which is this NO2 comes here. One of the hydrogen leaves. Now this hydrogen that leaves now can combine with HO to form what? H2O. Can we quickly look at another example? How about if you have CH3, CH2, CH3? If this is nitrated, we say this one will break down to give us HO and what? NO2. Now this NO2 is coming here. One of these hydrogen here will leave. Now if that one comes there, becomes CH3, CH2, CH2 and what? NO2, plus this hydrogen that left here combined with this OH here, with this hydrogen that left, it will give us what? H2O. So this is nitroethane. Nitroethane, when ethane is nitrated, it gives nitroethane, and this is nitropropane. When propane is nitrated, it gives us, this is ethane, this is methane, and then this is propane. Are you getting it now? So that is that case. Okay, now the next one is combustion. Now this is where I really want you to put more attention. Now in the combustion reaction, alkenes react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water as the main product. The difference between them is the number of carbon dioxide or the number of moles of water that will be formed. The number of moles of carbon dioxide or the number of moles of water that will be formed. Now the general formula for that is CnH4 H2N plus 2, this is alkane. Now 3N plus 1 divided by 2O2 to give us NCO2 plus what? N plus 1 H2O. This is general method for combustion of alkane. So all alkanes that are reacted with oxygen, they usually form carbon dioxide and water. But the only difference is the number of carbon dioxide and the number of water that will be formed, or number of molecules of carbon dioxide and number of molecules of water. So for instance, if I give you an alkane like CH4, now for CH4, it means CnH2n plus 2. It means our n is equals to 1. That is why it's C1H 2 times 1 plus 2, which is what? CH what? 4. So CH4 plus, then you have 3 brackets 1 plus 1 over 2 O2 to give us our n is 1. So this becomes 1 CO2 plus here. This becomes 1 plus 1 what? H2O. At the end of the day, what are you going to have? CH4 plus 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is what? 2. So you have 2O2 plus what? CO2 plus 1 plus 1 is what? 2H2O. So this will be the product of this reaction. Now how about, let's say we react ethane. Ethane is C2H4. Okay, C2H6 rather. Now C2H6. Now for C2H6, our N is equals to what? 2. Why? Because we have C2 here, C and N is 2. So this become 3 or plus, should not be plus 3 brackets, 3 times 2 plus 1. Wherever you see N, you put 2 in the formula, O2, and this will give us what? 2CO2 plus what? 2 plus 1 H2O. And this will give us C2H6 plus 3 times 2, 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is 7 over 2 O2 to give us 2CO2 plus 3 H2O. So you see that what differs is the number of oxygen that reacted and the number of carbon dioxide that is what? Formed, and number of water, molecules of water. In this case, 1 molecule of carbon dioxide is formed. In this case, 2 molecules of carbon dioxide are formed. In this case, 2 molecules of water are formed. In this case, 3 molecules of water are what? Are formed, of water is formed. Are we getting it now? So that is the general reaction of combustion of alkane. Now, one thing that you must take into cognizance is this formula. This formula is very important. You may be asked this formula. The general reaction for combustion of alkane is, this formula is very, very important. Okay. Now the next reaction is pyrolysis of alkane. Large alkanes are broken down to give smaller alkanes and alkenes. Yes, large alkanes are broken down to give smaller alkanes and what? Alkenes. So for instance, if you are giving, let's say, C15H32. Now if you break this down, what is it going to give to us? This may give us C3H let's say H6 as an alkene plus C7H14. This how many now? 3 plus 3 is 10, 4 plus this is 20, plus what? Then the other one will be C5H12. Now you see, this is an alkene. This is another what? Alkene. And then this is an alkene. Why is this alkene, alkene, and alkene? Now the alkenes follow the general formula of H2N. This one follow the general formula of what? Cn H2n, and then this will follow the general formula of Cn H2n plus 2. Now this is the formula for alkenes, general formula for alkenes. Why this is also for alkenes? This is for what? Alkenes. Now when our n is 3, this becomes 3 C3H. 2 times 3 is what? 6. That was how you got this. So this is an alkene. The same thing applicable is C7H. 7 times 2 is what? 14. This is another what? Alkene. So whenever an alkane, a large alkane, breaks down to give a mixture of alkene and alkanes, such a reaction is called what? Cracking or pyrolysis. Now, pyrolysis or cracking can be achieved by two means. It can be through the use of heat, called the thermal cracking, or it can be through the use of a catalyst called what? The catalytic cracking. Catalytic cracking. Okay, so these are the two ways in which cracking can be actually obtained. So if, for instance, I give, let's say, C10H22 and I say crack this into two alkane and alkane, this may break down to give us what? Let's say C5H10 plus what? C5H12. Now recall that if you add this and this together, it must give you what is here. C5 plus C5 is what? C10. H10 plus H12 is H22. So whenever a large alkane breaks down to give a smaller, to give an alkane, this is an alkane, and then another smaller alkane, this is an alkane, we say that reaction is called what? Pyrolysis or cracking. Okay, pyrolysis or cracking. Now the next one is conformation. The different arrangement of a molecule that can be obtained by rotation about a carbon-carbon single bond are called conformation. They are called what? Conformation. Now if you see some molecules, you can easily rotate them. Are we getting it now? The conformations, we have the two types of representation of the conformation. You have the one that is called the sawhorse. You have the one that is called the sawhorse projection, and then sawhorse, in case you don't, sawhorse, and you have the Newman projection. I think you do this further in year 2. Now, for instance, if you have CH3, according to the sawhorse projection, this one will give you something like this. This point is considered a carbon, then you have another carbon. Now this one coming here like this is called hydrogen, and hydrogen. This point here is a carbon. Then this one also, you have hydrogen. This is a carbon. Are we getting it? This is the representation. So you have carbon, hydrogen. Are you getting it now? If you want to put this down, you say this is C2, which is what? 2 carbons. And how many hydrogen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what? 6 hydrogen. So this is methane, and this is the sawhorse representation of methane. How about the Newman projection? Now the Newman projection is usually achieved by using plates to represent the carbon. So this is one plate, this represents 1 carbon. Then inside you now draw the hydrogens like this. This one hydrogen here, this another hydrogen, and this another hydrogen. Then you have this hydrogen, and what? This hydrogen. Now this is telling you that there are 2 plates here. Are we getting it? That there are 2 plates. One of them is the one that these 3 hydrogens up. 1, 2. Okay, let me use something to represent it. Let me use another color to represent this so that it will be clearer. You have this hydrogen, and what? Hydrogen. Now what this one is telling you is there are 2 plates there. Are we getting it? One is inside the other that we cannot see, something like this. One is inside the other that we cannot see. Are we getting it now? Then that one is the one that these hydrogens are attached, the yellow hydrogen. So we say that we have 2 carbons here. Are we getting it? One is the white carbon, and the other one is the what? Inner yellow carbon. Then the hydrogens, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. H6. So you see that alkanes can be represented. That means when you rotate them, how many different orientation can they actually form is what is called the Sawhorse and the what and the Newman projection for the rotation of alkenes. Okay, now let's take another example. Or better still, let me show you a video on the Sawhorse and the Newman projection of alkene, so that you know what we are actually talking about, the rotation of the Sawhorse and the Newman projection. So that will be the end of this class. Thank you. But before that, we also have the shear conformation, like the one for cyclohexane. This is the shear. Then you have the half shear, and then you have the bolt. Okay, the bolt is this one, like this. It's written like this. The bolt, you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the bolt conformation. This is the shear conformation. You see the way it is looking like a shear, and then you have the half shear, not full shear. Are we getting now? So these are the various methods of conformation. But the most important thing you should know is that the different spatial arrangement of a molecule that can be obtained by rotation about a carbon-carbon single bonds are called what? Conformation. Thank you for your time.